seen campus.
Good.
So succeeding.
Sorry?
I'm so homesick that I practice.
You practice. Good. इसका नाम क्यों नहीं है? ये तीसरे क्लासेस का You didn't start, and when is the school starting? I asked you a question.
How are you so chill? I am the one who has been sacrificing my sleep and finishing this.
I mean, I did complete it.
Portfolio.
But like, ज़्यादा नहीं था.
There's only 5 activities.
I haven't done the rest.
I started my portfolio. Math, diagram, picture, only second one.
अच्छा, yes.
And math की सारे chapters की concept में था.
Maths में कितने थे?
There was a loaded maths.
Really? Then?
सारे chapter concept math, 2 worksheet, 2 lab activities, 2 art integration, and take some story using math
I
concept.
have like 4. Yeah, I like to complete.
You will.
By the way, yours is starting on the 12th, and when is yours starting?
No,
Same the same.
At the same class?
no.
Section the different.
I mean the book.
You're in the school section. Why? What's so cool about it?
It was sarcastic.
That is why. What's so cool about it?
There's nothing cool to exist on it.
Not enrolled.
I नहीं समझा क्या दिमाग में
It's like there's another English class after this one.
Yeah.
Like those people are in community.
Correct. You're not free of your and the third person is gone.
You're there somebody.
Can't help it. I'm going to start. So we were going back to Mrs. Packletide Tiger. What is this all about? Do you remember? Do you recall? Yeah, jealousy.
The whole story is set in a satire.
Yes, it's very ironical. She didn't kill the tiger, but
Just to make people jealous and get more attention from that.
yes. So we are talking about appearance. Good, yeah. We're talking about appearance. What else we are talking about?
The amount of price she had to pay just to let the secret be
So pride can be a downfall.
Uh,
Correct? Pride can be a downfall. What else? It's all about her insecurities too,
Yeah.
right? And we are late. By
6 minutes.
yes. Why? You don't know the answer, you better know the answer. Next time I don't want you to be late. What else? What else? Isn't it about like the social competition also?
Yes.
It is talking about British era, right? You're talking about where the high class and the middle class, you have that. You have that how the upper class had this kind of like competition which was going on. Luna Bimbleton and Mrs. Packletide belonged to the same strata, correct? So that kind of competition was going on. Okay, so you have the social competition also amongst themselves, and because of that, she wanted to show,
show that person.
Correct. right? So that now we had finished this first. As I remember, what is Nimrod? What is Nimrod? Footsteps towards the footsteps of Nimrod. What do you mean by footsteps of Nimrod? Character of what? Okay. It's a biblical character, yes. What was he famous for? Yes, he was a
great one.
correct. And why is like when we talk about this particular line, the compelling motive for a sudden deviation towards the footstep. Now deviation means that she turned towards it, right? She followed the footsteps. Why this particular line? The compelling motive for the footstep for the faculty Luna Pemberton had recently carried 11 miles an hour with an Algerian aviator and talked about nothing else. Why this sudden deviation? What are we completing? Okay.
I'm writing name.
Of your name. Yeah. Huh. Why this compelling motive of a sudden deviation towards the footsteps of the Lord? You know that it's a biblical character. You know that he is a hunter. Correct? Was a very great hunter. And is she a hunter?
Yes.
No, she is.
No. Now that's why I said this particular sentence makes more sense if you read it this way. Now look at the compelling motive for a sudden deviation. She is not a hunter.
Yeah.
She is normally a socialite. Okay, and her sudden deviation was because of Luna Wimbledon was
Because she had
procured a tiger skin and she was taken by this Algerian aviator. Aviator is your pilot, right? So she was carried and there was talk about her like being carried by the pilot and all that. And she wanted to show off like I also can be equally popular like Luna Wimbledon. That's why the sudden deviation and that's why this will make sense. Clear? Understood? You have lost. Footsteps of Nimrod. Nimrod is a biblical character. What is given to you all? It is he was a great hunter. Okay, he is Noah's great grandson. If you talk about it. Noah's Ark, you remember? No. There was the war, flooding. The whole world was flooded, and there was an ark where two of each animals went into that. His family and two of each animals.
It is a movie.
Yes, it is a movie. Movie you'll remember. Very good. So Noah's Ark. Actually, the movie's name is actually Noah's Ark. It is as simple as like the world was full of sin, and then God said, "He let me destroy the whole world." So he said, Noah. This is a Hollywood movie. They have made it into. Yes. That's not the original version of it, but then I'm still telling you. It's like God said, like you build an ark, okay, and once you complete your ark, then you go with your family, and then I will send two of each animals in that, and then I'll flood the whole world. Okay.
I thought it was crazy.
Yeah, that was a Hollywood version of it. Okay, so he built basically ark, and then two of each animals went inside, and then the whole world was flooded. The whole world was destroyed, and his family and those animals who were there in the ark, they only survived. Okay, that's a biblical story. So Nimrod is supposed to be Noah's grandson. Okay, so he was a great hunter. Understood? So that's why she said footsteps of Nimrod. Like you follow your father's footsteps, right? You may be your father may be a businessman, so or your father may be an engineer. You want to follow his footsteps or your mother's footsteps, like that. So that's why the footsteps of Nimrod. Yeah. So that's why he was a hunter, and that's why she wanted to be a huntress because Luna Wimbledon procured a tiger skin, and the jealousy factor comes in there, and that's what motivated her. Got it? That's what motivated her, and that's why this line. She see in a world that was chiefly swayed by hunger and love, Mrs. Packletide was an exception. Why? Because her motivation was jealousy. Others we do for food, clothing, and shelter, right? That is basically the human concept that we require food, clothing, and shelter. So we are motivated by that because we want that food, clothing, and shelter, want that comfort level and all that. But her motivation was she wanted to show off, like she wanted to show off to Luna Wimbledon that she was equally expert like her, or she was more popular than her. That's it. That's why the jealousy factor comes in. That's why these two lines make sense. Understood? You have to understand the depth of it before you go anywhere. Now, I think we finished these two. Now we go to this. Circumstances prove propitious. Propitious, very favorable or fortunate, like basically. Circumstances prove. This also we had finished, right? She had offered 1,000 rupees. 1,000 rupees for shooting a tiger. So what did the villagers do? What did the villagers do? This we had finished. I think we will. What did the villagers do?
They gave, they told kids to stand at the border of the jungle so the tiger wouldn't cross the border and go somewhere else.
Okay, so they were posted day and night, correct? On the outskirts of the local jungle. Then what else?
So mothers going back wouldn't sing and let the tiger come.
Wouldn't make noise. Third factor. Third factor. There are lots of factors in this. And the third thing, what they did?
They provided him prey so that he didn't have to go and hunt.
Correct. They would provide him prey so that, see, once the tiger is getting its prey, it wouldn't go anywhere else, right? So they are making certain situations very, very, profitable for the tiger to be there when she kills, because they wanted 1,000 rupees. And in those days, we are talking British era. Remember, in those days, 1,000 rupees was a lot. So that's why the whole villagers were what? Involved in that particular process, correct? See, that's why he's called the venerable herd robber. Venerable. That's why he's called the venerable herd robber. Herd, you know, cattle is called herd, the group collective noun. Herd. Venerable. Sorry? No, give me. What does venerable means? You can guess, it's no problem. You would write and you don't understand your handwriting. That's
do they try to mean vulnerable?
no.
There is something tiger.
Because that would make
Sheep of tiger or hope of tiger. I have written like that.
Or hope of tiger.
No, heap, hope, anything.
Heap of hope. Wow. Yes. Vulnerable and venerable are two different words. Vulnerable is like you are very you need protection. Understood? Venerable is very, very something sacred or holy. Holy.
Holy tiger.
Holy tiger, no. Why? Because for them he was kind of like God, sacred, right? Because that will, yes. So that's why the word venerable and word robber. So kind of a paradox here to see. Okay. Now the great night duly arrives, moonlit and cloudless. So you have this kind of night which is very, very calming, very peaceful, and the moon is shining, so the light is there in the jungle we're talking about. A platform had been constructed in a comfortable and conveniently placed tree, and thereupon crouched Mrs. Packletide and her paid companion, Miss Mebin. Now, in those days, there was, they were governess, what we call, or they were paid companions to keep company, to take care as a caretaker for, person. So, a goat gifted with a particularly persistent bleat, such as even a partially deaf tiger might be reasonably expected to hear on a still night, was tethered at a correct distance. So, you have this platform built. You have this, we call it a machan. Sorry, you call it a? You heard about machan, right? Have you been to jungle safaris? Okay. Normally, you have this they have made it like a machan, like the bamboo sticks are made. So you have this.
keep an eye on that.
You have seen George of the Jungle.
I have gone to a jungle.
Tarzan, you have seen. Tarzan, you have not seen. Animated version of Tarzan also you have not seen. I swear to God, you have seen a tree house. But other than the tree house, only the platform is there, no house is there. Understood? So that is called a machan. Basically, it is constructed. Normally, they do it because in animal counting, they do forest. This one they make this machan so that they can sit on the top of the height, and then they can count and keep a count of the tigers and lions. At that particular night watch. people like animals like watch for what that's people stay there so that the animals don't attack and they are the height and they can keep an eye and that way like wildlife counting is also being done. Though they have cameras and all that, sometimes even people are there to do that. So here they have made this kind of platform for her so that she can shoot. The goat must be tied at the correct distance. Means for her to shoot. Everything was made so that she can get her prey. Okay. Now see, particularly with a persistent bleat, you know how a persistent bleat means continuous bleating, that is bleating of the goat. So that continuously, and it was loud enough so that even a partially deaf means when you can't hear very clearly. So that kind of tiger will be also be able to hear that kind of bleat. Okay, reasonably. And was tethered, fastened or tied. Fastened or tied. Okay. At the correct distance with accurately sighted rifle. Accurately sighted, you have this. You've seen a rifle. Now that I don't have to explain that. And a thumbnail pack of patience card. The sportswomen awaited the coming of the quarry. Quarry is your prey. Okay. I suppose we are in some danger, said Miss Neville. So Miss Neville is this very middle class lady who, who values money. You see, because she is very thrifty. You get this as a character. She's very thrifty. Thrifty, what does thrifty means? What does thrifty means? Somebody thrifty. It's not there, but I'm telling you. Yeah. She is she very practical. She knows the value of money. Like upper class, they will throw money. Okay, but the middle class knows the value of money. So she will spend very wisely. Okay, you should be thrifty when you're this one. You cannot be a spendthrift person. You know what is the difference between a spendthrift person and a thrifty person, right? So like that, you cannot be excessively spending like whatever you like to pick up something like that and just because you want it. That is basically called a spendthrift. So she was not actually nervous about the virus, but she had a morbid dread of performing an active more service than she was failing. So she didn't want to do anything one bit extra. Okay, she didn't want to go out of her way to help somebody or out of her way to do some more extra work. Okay, nonsense, said Mrs. Packletide. It's a very old tiger. It couldn't spring up here even if it wanted to. So she said, nah, it's an old tiger, so it will not spring up because it is not agile, it is not flexible. It's very old. If it's an old tiger, immediately that first thought comes in. If it's an old tiger, I think you ought to get it cheaper. So you are paying 1,000 rupees. If it's an old tiger, why are you paying 1,000 rupees? You can get it cheaper. 1,000 rupees is a lot of money. As I said, you have this typical when a person is you find her very practical and very, very middle class mentality where you will find that she says, if the tiger is old, you should pay less. We bargain, right? We go and bargain. If the vegetable is not very fresh, you say, "I come me de do." You give it. So that way. Louisa Bevin adopted a protective elder sister's attitude towards money in general. You know how your sisters are, if you have an elder sister, they're always protecting you. So she like that, she protected money. Money wouldn't get out of her hand, basically. It will she will hold on to the money. So you have this kind of humorous take on that particular thing. That's why she's called as protective elder sister attitude towards money in general, irrespective of nationality or denomination. So any kind of nationality, it can be Russian, it can be European, it can be any denomination. Money is money for her, and she will never spend money. That kind of this one. Her energetic intervention had saved many a ruble from dissipating itself in tips in Moscow hotels. So she saved a lot of tips. Save people from giving tips to people. Ruble is again a currency. Okay? And francs and centimes clung to her instinctively under circumstances which would have been driven them headlong from less sympathetic hands. So here it's personified. Centimes clung to her. It's these money is clinging to her. Otherwise, they will go to some person who doesn't value money. Okay, so less sympathetic hands. Francs again is a currency, and your sentence clung to her instinctive. So you personify these that if they clung to her, they will not leave her in the sun, and because they will go into less sympathetic hands. Means a person who's very doesn't care about money. So that hands. First, speculations as the market depreciation. You know what is market depreciation? Of the tiger remains were cut short by the appearance of the scene of the animal itself. Speculation about market depreciation. What does market depreciation means?
A fall in the market.
Not fall in the market. It's how much
It's like
growth and like basically how the market works. Market depreciation is the ups and downs of your market. And she was thinking like how much these remnants. Remnants are the like parts of tigers. Remember, a tiger is they kill tiger and they sell them illegally. If you remember, the tiger skin, the tiger they make certain herbs out of tiger and all that. Yeah, claws and all that they still do that. It's illegal, right? Killing of tigers, and they do that in China, especially if you see. So how much they will be valued in the market? That's what her brain was working. Like how much money will I get in that? But that was cut short by the appearance of the animal itself. Animal, the tiger had appeared. As soon as it caught sight of the thinner goat, it lay flat on the earth. So the goat was tied and it was lying flat on the earth. Like you know how the tiger acts, right? It waits and then it pounces. But here it happened seemingly less from a desire to take advantage of an available cover than for the purpose of snatching a small short rest before commencing the grand attack. So the tiger seemed to be tired instead of commencing. You know, the tigers, if you've seen Natural Geographic or you've seen these kind of videos, if you Discovery, plus if you've seen that the tigers, they wait in the grass and then they pounce. This, he seems like he's taking a rest. Why? Because of its old age. It's ready, it's taking rest before it launches on the animal. It launches itself, you know, Nata? They jump.
goes back and beats.
Yeah, and it jumps. I believe it's Il said Louisa Mebin loudly in Hindustani. Why? Because he wants the villagers to hear. Correct. For the benefit of the village headman, who was in ambush in a neighboring tree. So they are surrounding, like, you know, the tiger shouldn't escape and then everybody is there. Hush, said Mrs. Packletide, and at that moment the tiger commenced ambling towards his victim. So ambling,
Getting ready to jump.
no, kind of strolling. Ambling is the way you walk. Ambling is the way you walk, and it's kind of strolling towards this one. Instead of ready to pouncing it, it's like literally strolling, relaxed stroll kind of thing. Towards the victim. Now, urged Miss Neville with some excitement. If he doesn't touch the goat, we needn't pay for it. So she is very excited. Oh, if he is not touching the goat, then we don't have to pay for the goat. We pay for the tiger, right? We don't have to pay for the goat. The bait was an extra. The rifle flashed out with a loud report, and the great tawny beast sprang to one side and then rolled over in the stillness of death. So immediately she shot. So that's what the loud report. The gunshot was loud, and the tawny beast sprang, but it fell on one side. Okay, and it was dead. Stillness of death. In a moment, a crowd of excited natives had swarmed on the scene. So everybody swarmed means like the swarm of bees, how they surround. Like that, they all got out of the cliff. And their shouting speedily carried the glad news to the village, where the thumping of tom-toms took up chorus of triumph. So that tom-toms are your drums. Okay, and the thumping of it, they're announcing to the whole village, oh, the tiger is attacked and we are victorious and all that kind of a thing. The celebrating. Triumph is that. And the triumph and rejoicing found a ready echo in the heart of Mrs. Packletide. And yeah, she felt very happy. Yes, I have killed a tiger. So that was her aim. So she got an aim. Already was that luncheon party in Curzon Street seemed immeasurably near. So now she can show off. She knows she's already planned out what she's going to do with the tiger skin and all that. It was Louisa Mebin, as I said, the practical lady. It was Louisa Mebin who drew attention to the fact that the goat was in death throes. It is going to die. Like you see in each Bollywood movie that how they get shot and they're trying to just die basically. So the goat is also dying like that only on the death throes with a mortal bullet wound, while no trace of the rifle's deadly work could be seen on the tiger. So she shot the goat instead of the tiger. Okay. Evidently, the wrong animal had been hit, and the beast of prey, that is the tiger, had succumbed to heart failure. So he got a heart attack. The tiger got a heart attack, and he died. Succumbed means he died. You know, whenever succumb in newspapers, you'll get this word succumb to their wounds. That means they passed away because of the terrible wounds on their body. Caused by the sudden report of the rifle accelerated by senile decay. Senile decay is, we are talking about old age diseases. Okay, and because of that, this tiger had passed away. Because the gunshot was loud and it caused, sudden kind of panic, and that's why. Mrs. Packletide was pardonably annoyed at the discovery. So she was angry. She was not this one, but totally this. But at this stage, she was the possessor of a dead tiger. So definitely she got what she wanted, she got. And the villagers, anxious for the 1,000 rupees, gladly connived at the fiction. Means they gave connived is basically when you do something illegal and you are going with it. Okay, conniving is that when you're going with something which is illegal. Agreeing with something illegal. At the fiction that she had shot the beast. So the villagers also agreed that they will propagate the thing that she had shot the beast. And Mrs. Mebane was a paid companion. And definitely Mrs. Mebane will not open her mouth because she's getting paid for being her companion. Correct? Therefore, did Mrs. Packletide face the cameras with a light heart. So Mrs. Packletide didn't have any problem. She just faced the camera and pictured her face. And her picture frame reached the pages of Texas Weekly snapshot to the illustrated Monday's supplement of the Nova Burma. This is a newspaper, correct? So this one and the magazine. As for Lona Wimbledon, she refused to look. Now, here, her popularity also doesn't agree with Luna Wimbledon. Both Mrs. Packletide was not happy with Luna Wimbledon's popularity and vice versa. Why? This shows you. See, as Luna Wimbledon refused to look at the illustrated paper, for weeks, and her letter of thanks for the gift of the tiger for birth was a model of repressed emotions. You know what is repressed emotion, right? You're suppressing whatever you feel. You just are biting your anger, your frustration. That is repressed. So that. The luncheon party she declined. So remember, she had planned for a lunch and she would have shown her the tiger skin which was there in front. So she declined that. So this all shows that she also was unhappy with her popularity. And there were limits beyond which repressed emotions become dangerous. So jealousy, any jealousy becomes very, very dangerous for people, right? Because if you're jealous of somebody, you will do something underhanded. From Curzon Street, the tiger skin rug traveled back down to the manor house and was duly inspected and admired by the county. County is something. Okay. What do you have? Yeah. Yeah, this one. You have this. So, how amused everyone would be if they knew what really happened, said Lewis Mebane a few days after the ball. So there was a dance party. Ball is basically your dance party and dinner and all that. So in this is how amused. And now she found the perfect timing also. If everybody knew in the ball what really happened. After the ball. So she said how amused people are. Ball, she showed off. She showed her tiger skin. Everybody in the county is everybody in that small town. They came. They duly admired the tiger skin which was on display. And then she said, now everybody knew. Now after that, if she revealed that the tiger died of heart attack instead of this, what would have happened to Mrs. Packletide's embarrassment? She wouldn't show her face in the county because reputation is everything, isn't it? You have your reputation is everything. If your reputation, why do we work so hard? To gain a reputation, right? So that people will trust you because of your reputation. And the same thing if it's somebody comes to know that what you told is lies, then your whole society goes against you. You know that. That's how society works. Societal acceptance also is like that. Correct? We are under the society pressure. We have to behave in a certain way. We have to act in a certain way. Because if we are banished from the society, we will not be able to survive. You know that. People who go outside the society, they struggle a lot. Yes or no? You know the great people who have worked. They make a name from themselves, but they struggle a lot. Their journey is very, very tough. It's not easy. Right? And this is what. So, sir, what do you mean, Mrs. Packletide, quickly? How you shot the goat and frightened the tiger to death, said Mrs. Mevin with a disagreeably pleasant laugh. And she kind of smirked and she said, if the people will know, then no one would believe it. Mrs. Packletide, her face changing color as rapidly as though it was going through a book of patterns before post-time. So it was basically her color frequently changed because she was threatened that Mrs. Mevin was going to reveal that particular secret. And she didn't know what to do because she was petrified. She will lose face. She had done it. Why? Because of her pride. Because she wanted to show society that she also was equally good at hunting. Correct? So this. Luna Wimbledon would. Mrs. Wimbledon, she held that. Luna Wimbledon definitely would. Mr. Packetide's face settled on an unbecoming shade of greenish white. So she literally lost her color. It was like absolutely became pale. You surely
scared.
She was very scared. She was petrified because Luna Wimbledon was her rival, and if she tells a rival, then the rival will take advantage and destroy her, isn't it? That's what how society was. Society is very fake. Society is very fake. You have to, if you're maintaining a certain face in front of society, you can't. That's why so many Bollywood movies are made of that. What is that? Pratishtha. What is that? What is called reputation? Parampara. Thank you. That particular dialogue. Pratishtha, Parampara, Amitabh Bachchan, Anushasan. Anushasan, let it go. Yes, Anushasan, let it go. Discipline is something. Pratishtha is one which is very, very, very key factor in your society, in anybody's, in any workplace or any school. Your reputation carries. That's why we say keep a good reputation. Children, when you're leaving school, don't leave with a bad reputation because it carries forward. Okay, because people do phone up and find out. So that is another thing. When you're leaving a job also, that is also there. Referrals you'll have to give. So that referral also matters. When you're going for colleges abroad, you require a referral of your teacher. So don't forget that. That's what I'm saying. Don't forget that. Sometimes you forget. You have a tendency to forget. You have that. You require reference from your teachers. How were they? And especially universities abroad, they require that.
Two teachers they require not everyone.
But still, 1-2 teachers you require. You have to keep on the good side of certain teachers. All right, where was I? So surely you wouldn't give me away, she asked. So you will not tell her like Luna Wimbledon. I seen a weekend cottage near Darking that I should rather like to buy. She's blackmailing her. Said Mrs. Mevin with seemingly irrelevance. It didn't matter, it doesn't matter to me, it's irrelevant. 680 freehold, quite a bargain. Only I don't happen to have that money. I don't have that money. And it's a weekend cottage which I really like. So indirectly she's saying you pay me to keep my mouth shut. She's blackmailing her. Lower Mevin's pretty weekend cottage, christened by her lost spouse, the Wild. After the tiger, yeah. So, and gay in summertime with garden borders of tiger lilies is a wonder and admiration of her friends. So she bought a weekend cottage. Indirectly, she bought a weekend cottage, and it is full of tiger lilies and all that. It's a marvel how USA manages to do it. So people wonder because suddenly you're getting a cottage when you can't afford a cottage. Definitely, in a general one. Mrs. Packletide indulges in no more big game. Big game shooting. Why? Because it backfired on her. The incidental expenses are so heavy. The incidental expenses. Incidental expenses,
She had to buy a college or do something.
Secondary.
secondary expenses are so heavy. She confides. Why? Because she had to pay 680 freehold for this one for the cottage, and 1,000 rupees.
For that village.
Rupees and dollars, there is a vast difference. You know that, na? $1 is 78 or 80 rupees.
82.
82. Thank you. Current value 82. Difference is so much. So she said that's why it's there. All the expenses are very hard to bear. Okay. So now I want. What about the characteristics of now? Mrs. Packletide.
She didn't like to be left behind.
Okay.
She's jealous of others.
Jealous. What else?
She wants fame and
Attention.
So what is it? Attention seeker good. That's one word for that.
she wants
Competitive.
Competitive good. What else? Envious.
Overconfident.
Envious.
Overconfident.
No,
While shooting at the tiger, she was so sure that
she was not overconfident. She was not a hunter. That's why she's footsteps of Nimrod. That's why it made you understand what is footsteps of Nimrod. What else? You need to know the characteristics. Without that, you will not be able to write. What else?
she's not an animal lover.
No,
Not because she needs that.
no.
Self.
The chapter is not about animal loving, right? What else?
is there a word for easily gets blackmailed?
Easily influenced.
Influenced.
She has a habit of spending money.
Sorry?
She has a habit of spending money.
No. Another word for it. It's not spending money. It's another word for it. It
Well,
will.
you just said it. Something thrifty and thrifty.
But
No,
before.
that's
No, ma'am said two words together. One is thrifty, who uses money wisely, and second was thrifty was in the second word. S, it's something from S.
But that will not encompass all the thing. It is spendthrift, I said. But that's not spendthrift is not the correct here. It is one more. It starts with M.
Money, wise, money.
No. Matt it is.
Man.
Think
Wouldn't have money.
what it is.
not. Starts with
Starts with Matt. I'm not going to give the whole
So
word.
I thought it was the word
Why will I give you the word? Think.
because you are very sweet and helping.
I don't start. Come on, fast. Materialistic. Because she wanted the tiger brooch, she wanted to have the full luncheon party, she wanted to have, so that will come to materialistic. She's very vain. V-A-I-N, vain. I'm going to sit in the exam and I'm going to write all these characteristics for you all.
Yes.
Yes, that's what I'm going to do for you all. Yes.
I will ask you questions and you answer.
This story is a satirical portrayal of English society. Okay? It is the irony of the story is the irony. Irony. What is the irony of the story?
Mrs. Packletide killed a tiger just to host a dinner and call.
I take this and I will one by one throw at you all.
If someone is something we should not cooperate.
What is irony first of all?
I don't know.
That is what?
Something you disagree at the first and then you agree to it.
No.
For example,
I
No.
mean, isn't that hypocritical?
Yeah, that is being hypocrite.
I can use it in a statement.
Irony is that she didn't kill the tiger, but people believed she killed the tiger.
I was about to say that.
That is an irony. That is what irony is. You are getting a scolding for something done by him, like that, or your sibling. Okay. What is the tiger brooch symbol of? Okay. What? I'll take this pen and I'll throw it at you only. What is it a symbol of? Arey, the whole chapter revolves around this. Now, come on. It's a symbol of? I swear to God, I will throw it one at a time. I'll throw. Arey, the whole chapter is about it.
Right.
Your question was the
Georgia.
No, I was confused.
The tiger brooch is a symbol of what? Symbol.
Tiger. I thought goat. I mean.
To show her to show our further.
What? It is what?
I can do nothing now.
Theme is?
Satire.
Theme is satire.
Why the three themes now?
So what is the theme?
Satire on social
Class.
Social class.
Satire on social life.
What is the theme? Basic theme.
Right can be a downfall.
I'm right.
Right can be a downfall. There are three themes in the whole story. Satire, social class.
Satire is something when you are sarcastic about the practices of social.
I'm just I will catch it.
Yeah.
मेरे को ना लगेगा.
Yeah, you will get. Whole story is over. We went round and round about jealousy and we don't know what it is.
नीचा दिखाने के लिए वो
Is jealousy I'm talking about symbol of jealousy and rivalry
So she
between
said-
Packletide
She
and
said jealousy.
when did she say jealousy?
She did say jealousy.
When did you say jealousy? Your ears are ringing.
I
You didn't say jealousy. Oops. So the tiger brooch is a symbol of
Jealousy.
and rivalry between Luna Bimbleton and Mrs. Packletide. You all better write these things down because in case it asks in the board exam, you all will have to answer. Swear to God. What is the message?
Pride can be a downfall.
Pride can be a downfall of social competition can exact a higher price
Where is it?
than expected.
Where is it?
You have to write it, not there. That is literature for you have to understand and write. Where is it? Social
Adi,
competition can exact a higher price. He's writing
oh, I thought of it.
than expected. Message or theme.
Is that a question?
It can come as either
Highest price than
expected.
इसके बाद
बस उतना ही है. It completes a complete statement.
Do you have a sharpener?
Sharpen your brains also, please. I swear to God, whole chapter is over and we just look like a dumb.
मुझे पहले लगा दो प्रश्न. मुझे पहले गोट लगा आधे क्वेश्चन के थ्रू.
My ear, you are sitting here and my ear pronunciation is so bad. That's it.
I thought what is the goat is symbol of? मैं सोच रही हूँ.
That is
What
what.
is का symbol है? इसलिए उसका
Ma'am, we didn't get the volume.
I get the volume.
Did you get the one?
Ma'am, the class is still when?
4:15.
Fourth.
Can I
Are you
tell
going
my
to take
mom?
grammar?
You better tell your mom.
I'm asking you because she is also there.
Sorry, you want grammar what?
You told that you will take grammar with Kaushik and all.
So I'll finish grammar most of them. Only tenses are left and subject verb concord. What is it? What about you all? What topics you all have?
We have the same. The grammar is same.
I finished most of the grammar with them. That's what I'm asking you. What all?
You didn't call me.
Yes, ma'am. You didn't
I'll
call it.
take one pen and I will throw at you. I swear to God, I'll make you a target. You didn't call
Can
us.
I sit? I feel scared.
Yeah.
Can I change my mind?
Please. You're most welcome to do it, but that will also not save you.
No.
Determine of tenses, subject verb agreement, active and passive, reported speech, prepositions.
I have finished most of the things except for tenses and subject verb agreement.
You have to determine this.
They only did it.
Yes.
You have done that is your this because I had finished with them. Anyway, they will be scheduled. There'll be for you all will be a separate thing because we have finished with them.
For grammar.
Yeah, you will have to have different grammar because except for tenses and this subject verb agreement, I have finished most of them.
Will we be having a class on Tuesday as well?
Let's see. Up till now, it has not been
On
scheduled.
Tuesday.
I
No,
think
Tuesday
there's a
normally
class
on
on
Saturday.
Saturday.
Saturday you have. Normally,
No, she said we'll have a grammar class on Saturday with them, and on Tuesday we'll have a literature class.
No, because on Tuesday we have SST. The class.
We do?
We have SST class.
listen, up till now I know only about Saturday. After we shall see when it is when. Okay. Now, the dear departed, we are going to
We
do
don't
that.
have a break today.
You have no, you don't have a break at all. Come on, the dear departed. Read this poem and tell me what do you feel about it.
Page number.
Dear Departed is a play. Check.
Oh, it's a play?
Play.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
13. Chapter 13.
We won't be doing a problem.
127.
No. 12. We will do patience one at a time. We did just now this particular which you didn't even know the answers. Also, the whole chapter revolved around the.
The
I want to. You want to do the frog and the nightingale.
got the question wrong, not my fault.
I want to do the first chapter.
You do wait for the first chapter. I'll do the first chapter. First, we are going to do this.
We haven't done the first time.
But it is not going to
I'm
come
so
with
serious. I'm very
Acha.
Yes.
Then why are you want to take it something? It will come in.
I
your-
think you should work with it.
You come here. I'll have easy target practice with you.
Exactly.
I'm a boxer.
I'll have target practice. There you raise your hands. I will pull you and put you upside down. The
Who's
dear
gonna
did-
read it?
Yeah, I thought I'd ask you all to read it.
I'm supposed to answer the 3 questions.
Yes.
He is feeling lonely.
Okay.
He is feeling unwanted.
Okay.
I give other chance.
What else?
Situation. Second question.
What situation do you think needs people to feel so?
People who were a part of
That
What you did?
the people who were a part of his family died, and now he's lonely and just waiting for his time to come back.
the people are afraid.
Is it necessary for the people to around his family to die and then that's why he's feeling lonely?
The people.
Positive studies.
1 minute. Yes.
The second pattern answer.
Okay.
The people are to be seen saying hi to him.
So, what situation do you think leads to people feeling so? She's saying lonely. She's saying unwanted. What situation leads people to feel so?
Just because they're old.
Just because they're old, good. What else?
He's thinking that the day might come when I die.
Huh?
He's thinking that I will die.
He will die. Okay, he's old, so he's definitely death is one part of a life. If you are born, you die also. There's nothing about it. What else? Look around you. Look at your family. Think.
Like
No
how
one in his family wants him.
No one in his family wants him. Don't kill people. No one in his family wants him. Why? Because he's old. Don't your grandparents
Too
feel
much
like
to
that?
handle.
Indian society is not built like that because we are supposed to be very, very respectful to your old. But think about modern world. Is modern world. Why are people landing up in old ages home? Why are people all living alone?
They are thinking that
Why are people, their children are settled abroad, the parents are staying in India?
They are too old and there is a lot to be managed and handled there.
they are
And-
feeling that parents are pressure for them and they are burden for them.
Correct. They feel that they are burdened for them. Correct. One is burden. What
The
else?
second reason why they are shutting up abroad because there is a success of employment and
Fine, but is it
Parents are an obstacle in the way
Ah,
of success.
parents are an obstacle in their path. Good. What
This is
else?
What they think.
This is what they think. The same parent who brought up, looked after, took care, paid, did everything. Now in the old age, they find that the parents are a burden. They are an obstacle. They are preventing them. You know how the perception of society is. They become, even when they die, the parents die, the brothers, sisters, and everything fight for
And
property. That money minded, grabbing society. You're not just the people, person has not, it's they are on there, like they are dead and they're lying there, and the fight starts.
yes.
Correct? So, this is again a satire on society, how society behaves, how people how the people's mindset is when a person has passed away and they start dividing. You see how people behave like that, and it's a modern mirror. It's a like a mirror which shows you how society is. We feel that it is not happening with our family, but you think within your family also it happens. Why are the fights happening between your family members?
Because in this world money is everything. Except money is not that we are not going to survive in this modern world.
everyone is money minded.
Everyone is money minded, and everybody's qualities are showcased when that person has passed away. You come to know the exact thinking, how
Anything
cheap
related to
they
money.
are, how like that person has not even been buried, and they start fighting for that. So you will find here also the same face scenario, and it is a reflection of society. Okay, this again is the story of the reflection of society. And here, when you said very, very correctly, unwanted and lonely, because the old people, when we talk about, we also are going to be old. It's not that we are going to be young forever. You're going to be old, you're going to be in the same shoes, but we don't have even 5 minutes time to spend with the old people. Your life is so hectic. Your life is, you have grandparents. Some of you may have grandparents. Some of your grandparents may have passed away. But even now, if you see in today's scenario, also, how much time do you spend with your grandparents?
Earlier used to, but now
Right now, you don't, because your life is very busy. You have your sports, you have your tuition classes, you have your school. You don't have, but at least in a day, 15 minutes we can take out from that to this. Because, as I said, life is too short. and they are there right now. Later on, they're not there. But these people also, remember, they're working throughout their life, and suddenly when they retire, they don't know what to do with themselves. When you don't have anything to do with you, you don't know what to do with yourself. You had any kind of day like that when everything you have done and you're just sitting, you don't know what to do with your own self, right? It happens. It happens when you're working continuously. It happened with me also. When I was working continuously, then I took a break. When I took a break, initially 15 days I enjoyed myself, but after that 15th day, the 16th day was like the whole world was closing in. I didn't know what to do with myself. I didn't know what to do. Imagine them when they have retired and they have their life after retirement. 60 you retire. For men it is 60 you retire, 58 you retire for women. But then you retire, then what do you do with yourself? You still have your life. You look forward to your grandchildren. You look forward to your children spending some time, but they are busy with their life. So like that, that's what the whole yearly departed is all about. And, uh,
Jan.
I know. Thank you. So basically, we have people we have revered again. We is worshipped. We look like this one. In India, signified by touching the feet of the other. Prime ministers and presidents also are senior citizens. If you think about it, the prime ministers and presidents are senior citizens. Joint family system where 3 or 4 generations lived under one roof were a strong support network, because what your grandparents would look after you, your parents would work. So you have this kind of support. Nowadays, it is nuclear family where only your parents are there and some maid is going to come and look after and then. But at that particular time, we had a lot of joint family system. Now, if you see Mumbai, if you see, it's a very nuclear family oriented. You don't have many joint families here. Do you have a joint family? Good. What about you? Nuclear family. What about you? 90% will have only nuclear family.
The joint family is not divided.
That is what it is. That is good because that is our Indian system. Somebody or the other in the close networking, they are the ones who support system, and they you had a very rounded childhood. They didn't have that kind of this because their grandparents coming in, holidays, or you going to the holidays, and that's it. You don't have the grandparents living with you per se.
Here we used to have a lot of fun with them, but right now everything is divided, so we don't usually meet.
That is what is life. You progress also, but the thing is what you leave behind a lot also. In that, you shouldn't forget your root. That is what it is said. All right. So it is talking about very materialistic. Now, reasons for neglect of old people. We are becoming very materialistic. We are running after money because we have to work. So becoming very materialistic. What else?
They are sick, and there is a lot.
Reasons for neglecting old people. Neglecting old people. Neglecting. There's a word neglecting. You know what is neglecting, right?
Of not paying attention.
Yes. So what are the reasons for neglecting old people? One is being very materialistic because we are working. What else is said? Give me the reasons for it.
Long work hours.
Long working hours. Think of your own situation and tell me, why are you not talking to your grandparents, or why you're not spending time with your grandparents?
We are busy in our own life.
Busy in your own life. What else?
Staying away from them.
Okay. You gave one. Na? Then you feel like they are burdened. They are a burden on you.
I was saying that they are sick, so they are a burden. You didn't let me finish.
Okay. I didn't let you finish. Okay. Fine. Let me finish now. Finish it. Did you use the word burden in that?
I said they are sick, so and you said stop. That's not neglect.
I asked you the reasons for it. I said, what do you mean by neglect? Are you giving me the reason of
They are a
neglect?
burden.
She used to say that they
They are sick, so we have to take care of them.
We need to spend a lot of money on them. So
Materialistic covers, materialistic spending money on them, no?
I didn't say spending money. He said spending.
Ah,
I don't really know.
I think
You need to see like that.
I did not. It's a different.
yeah, burden is becoming a different thing.
You sick रहेंगे तो पैसा जाएगा.
हाँ तो सिक रहेगा तो पैसा जाएगा इसके लिए materialistic is the apt word for it.
Common sense.
Common sense, no? That means your grandparents' future is very dark. Obviously, if you're going to say that,
I
you're
didn't
going to
say that. He said that.
obviously you're going to say अरे बीमार है तो कौन पैसा खर्च करेगा? You're going to go to that length.
You are not understanding.
Then you say better be clear with words. Words should be used properly. Understood? Sometimes it can be misconstructed, which I have misconstructed because the way you said it, it goes in the, it creates a very bad picture about you. And I pity your grandparents if that is the thought process. Are yaar, no. Proper words. Reasons, come on. Why are these two only jabbering and you are keeping quiet?
Feel like that.
She's not like that. She has brains. Sometimes, unfortunately, I feel like I will not complete the statement. Sorry.
These are like how you speak the whole class from.
Think.
So I don't want to love, I just think you have to.
It's okay. Think. What else? You have given me only two reasons. What else? There are two more blanks.
I will feel that.
Don't think and fill.
What if like, but that's the same.
What if like and does the same thing? Complete your thought.
They visit lot of polling places, so we are not able to.
Time constraint. Words. Weigh your words and say time constraint. You have the time constraint. You don't have the time. What else? One more.
I said work hard, too much work hard.
Correct wordings as I said.
We're so distracted in the materialistic life that we move with us.
You are absolutely selfish.
No,
No, I don't mean that. As I said, we are absolutely selfish because we look towards our comforts, our happiness. That's why we neglect theirs happiness. That's what I meant. Not you being selfish.
Let's go.
Understood. It is something where we are, as I said, we become very selfish with our comforts and our happiness. We neglect theirs
Like
happiness.
basically it's because we learn to take care of ourselves, prioritize ourselves more. So that's why we
Correct. You prioritize yourself more than them.
Yeah.
Correct. So that is also called selfishness only, right? When you prioritize your own self.
I use it in
They have been selfless.
By saying it in that way, we make ourselves feel good about it.
Correct. And remember, they have been selfless because they have sacrificed a lot for bringing up your parents. And at that time when they have brought up your parents, giving them every comfort, and at the time when they don't have their job, they want somebody to just look after or talk to them. We don't have that. That luxury of time, what you call it. As I said, everything is about prioritizing. Even if I can take out 10 minutes per day to sit and chit chat with them, that's enough for them. They don't require the whole day. They need that somebody to talk.
Like you said in the poem, even like a high poem.
Even like a high.
High.
That's why I said, think about the poem. Why I made you read the poem?
Yeah.
Because even that high matters.
Matters.
Because they are not asking you money. They are not asking you anything. They are only asking your companionship.
People are embarrassed to talk to their grandparents.
No, they are embarrassed to talk to the computer thought.
People are embarrassed to talk to their grandparents in front of their colleagues or
Let's
friends.
go. I go with this one.
I was
I was thinking of
Why?
given you because
Why?
Because they feel that talking to an elder person in front of their colleagues or friends makes
I
them
know
look
that
down and makes them look down. Why वो ऐसी mentality है?
Our talks are different, and if we talk in front of them, so they will.
We aren't seen cool.
So your reputation will suffer.
But is that
Not
a common
ours.
thought?
A general statement.
That's what I said. Reputation will suffer because they feel that they know more than the grandparents. Correct. That's what you're trying to
Then
say.
it's selfish again.
Yeah, it is. It comprises to selfishness, isn't it? They have seen the world, but we believe that they don't know anything about the world. We believe that they are uncouth and not like fashionable and not going with the trend of the society. So yeah,
You look
definitely.
down on them.
Yeah, you look down on them. Absolutely correct. You look down on them. Now, that whole scenario you see here is not about here you see that they believe that he's passed away. And how do the sisters behave? Pay very close attention to that. Okay. There are basically there are 6 characters.
What was the word you used? Time.
Constraint. Okay, so it has 6 characters, but major characters we feel the 2 sisters and their husbands. Okay, minor characters is the Abel Benny Weather, that is the grandfather, and Victoria Slater. Excuse me,
It's saying give us a break.
no. Mrs. Slater, grandfather used to stay. Wait, I'll zoom in. Grandfather used to stay with Mrs. Slater, okay? And Mrs. Jordan is her other sister, and Henry Slater is her husband, the husband and wife who grandfather used to stay with. And Ben Jordan and Mrs. Jordan is the other sister. So these are your main characters, okay? And Victoria is Mrs. Slater's daughter. Okay. Now, any drama, if you see, you will find in any drama they will give you the setting, how the setting is. So sometimes you may be getting you have to dramatize the story and all that. So, what is the setting of this one story? Where is the story taking place?
In a small town. A sitting room of a small
Small
house.
house in a lower middle class district of a town.
Now, spectators are your audiences. Okay. Now, to your left is the window. When you're sitting this way, what is towards your left?
The door.
Yes.
Wall.
Yeah. You would use a wall. Okay. So here on the spectator's left is the window. So you have to imagine that. Okay. And with the blinds down. You know what are blinds, right? What are blinds?
Anda.
Huh? Andha, no? You are also andha.
I know it's the with the spiral thing you pull it down, the line comes down, it goes.
Yeah. Those kind of
I know that.
that is known as blinds. You pull it up and you pull it down. In offices, there is andha. We are all andhas over here. So, okay. So, blinds are there on the windows. What else?
It's like a sofa in front of it. So this is like
If,
a window.
if that is your left, so that is
So
the
it's
window.
like this.
The sofa is on the front of it. So, this is window like this.
Okay.
Got it?
How
Then-
about we take this as a window? Because it's actually a window.
The drama was written by him, not me. And I neither by you.
We'll assume this as our left.
Then right is the fireplace. This is your armchair.
This is the fire.
Yeah.
Okay, so right is the fireplace. On his right is a fireplace with an armchair by you. So your right, sorry, yes. Your right is this, there's a fireplace here because it is like that English, if you see the English townhouse, if you see, it's like that. So you have English, it will always have a fireplace there because it is very cold, like that, in London kind of a thing. with an armchair in the middle of the wall facing a spectator. Wall facing the spectator is a door into the passage. So there is a door into the passage, and to the left of the door, a cheap, shabby chest of drawers. Okay, so shabby is very, very like
Messy.
not messy per se, but worn kind of a chest. Chest is the drawer, a cupboard, okay, where it has a lot of drawers in it. And on the side, right is a sideboard. Sideboard is that where you that mantelpiece what you have. In the middle of the room is a table with chairs around it. Ornaments and a cheap American clock are on the mantelpiece. This is your mantel if you have on the fireplace. You have this kind of base platform, no? That is your mantelpiece. On that there is your clock. Now, this American clock and the chest is very important. That's what I'm saying. Be careful of the setting. Then, in the hearth, a kettle. So, near the fire, like kitchen, there's a kettle which is there. Okay. On by the sideboard, a pair of gaudy new carpet slippers. Carpet slippers also are very important. Gaudy, you know what is gaudy, right? Very bright colored kind of a thing, which is like uh, hurts your eyes.
Bright. Bright.
Way too bright color, like Ranveer Singh. Like Ranveer Singh. You see him dressing and coming, he wears very gaudy, loud clothes.
He wears girls' clothes.
He wears girls' clothes and he'll wear very, very bright clothes which looks very, very out of place. That's why I said gaudy. Gaudy encompasses that. That means it is very loud, very bright, very out of the place, that kind of. So it had this kind of slipper which was there, which was very, very bright color slippers. Okay. New carpet slippers. The table is partially laid with for tea. So you have this half laid, partially is half laid, and the necessaries for the meal on the sideboard are as also are copies of evening paper, the Tidbits and Persons Weekly. So there are newspapers. So you get the whole setting of the house, how the house is laid. Okay. Turning to the left through the door takes you to the front door. So when you turn to the left of your door, the door is in front of you. You turn toward the left and it takes you to the front door. So that's the positioning of that. To the right, if you turn to the right of the door, you will have your stairs which goes up. Alright. In the passage, a hat stand is visible because as I said, you think about London where you wear your hat and your coat and your scarf around you. So you have this hat stand there. When the curtain rises, Mrs. Slater is laying the table. She's putting it may be tea time because we have tea laid on. She is vigorous. Now, this is the description. She is vigorous. Vigorous is very energetic, plump, red face, vulgar woman. Vulgar woman. She doesn't control. She's very, outrightly blunt, straightforward like that. Prepared to do any amount of straight talking to get her way. So very, very blunt, very, very she doesn't think about anybody's sentiments. So that's why it is called vulgar. She is in black, but not in complete mourning. If somebody has passed away, you have to be in black. We go to you go to somebody's passed away, you wear white. Yes, you wear white and you go. Like in England or the basically English customs is they wear black to show that they're mourning. But she's not completely in mourning. She listens a moment and then goes to the window, opens it and falls into the street. So she's calling somebody. Now here it starts. Mrs. Slater, Victoria, dear, come in, will you? So she's calling out to somebody, Victoria. Now, as I said, Victoria is supposed to be her daughter. Okay? Mrs. Slater closes the window, pulls the blind straight, and then returns to the verbal with Victoria, a precocious is given there. Read at least the meaning.
A person who is
Mental attitude is above beyond her.
She's a smart child, and sometimes people do not like smart children. In the sense when you're sitting in the living room and suddenly you pass a comment which is not appreciated by the adult. Okay. Of dressed in colors enter. So here you will find the contrast. She is dressed in black while her daughter is dressed in color. Okay. I'm amazed at you, Victoria. I really am. You how you can be gallivanting about in the street with your grandfather lying dead and cold upstairs? I don't know. So he says, I am ashamed of you. Like basically she's saying, like, look at you. You are roaming about. Gallivanting is basically roaming around here and there. And on the street when your grandfather is dead upstairs. Okay. So she's scolding her. Be off now and change your dress before Aunt Elizabeth and Uncle Ben come. It would never do to find you them for them to find you in colors. Basically, she's telling her you cannot be in colors because your grandfather has passed away and your aunt and uncle are going to come and they will, if they see you in colors, they will be embarrassed or they will be shocked. Shocked. Okay? What are they coming for? They haven't been here for ages. So now you come to know that this aunt and uncle has never visited this house for a long time. For ages, for a very long time. And so she's wondering, why are they coming now? Mother has informed her that her grandfather is dead. That's why she has to change her colors. So then the child in her, she says, why? Why are they coming now? Because they have not come for ages. So why suddenly now? So he said, they are coming to talk over poor grandfather's affairs. So here, it's not coming to attend the funeral. They are coming to talk about grandfather's affairs. What does affairs means? Thank you. Otherwise, affairs can take another connotation altogether. Otherwise, grandfather's affairs, then you have another tangent going between. Yeah. How many girlfriends, no? No, you have, no?
No.
Oh, my. The pot. Okay, then talk about poor grandfather's affairs. So you find that the grandfather has passed away and they are not going to come for the funeral. They're coming to talk about the distribution of the property. So what kind of people they are?
Money minded,
Selfish people, money minded, very greedy,
And unkind.
Self-centered.
self-centered, good. Like that. Each dialogue you'll pick up qualities, okay? So your father sent them a telegram as soon as he found he was dead. So as soon as he found that the grandfather is dead, the father sent a telegram and they are coming. Good gracious, that's never there. So she like when she there's an option, oh God, I hope that is not there. Never there is not there. Mrs. Slater hurries to the door and opens it. No, thank goodness, it's only your father. So she was shocked. Suddenly they have come. So thank goodness it is only the father. That means her husband has come. Henry Slater, a stooping. Now again the description. Be careful with descriptions because descriptions also make marks. Henry Slater, a stooping, bending. Okay, stooping. Heavy man with a drooping mustache. So his mustache is basically drooping like this. You know Shivaji Maharaj was like this. His the other way around. Enters. He is wearing a black tailcoat. Again, as I said, olden days they had this coat which had a long back. We have this blazers. Remember, you have your safaris which are blazers still here. But in English, when you are talking about English time, they had this long tailcoat. This one.
seen it somewhere.
You have seen Ant and the Grasshopper animated. Ant and the Grasshopper. Have you seen an animated
But
movie?
I heard what's the tailcoat, so I
Yeah.
know it
So
was.
that basically, if you see, you will find that the grasshopper always wears that long tailcoat, that olden days tailcoat. Grey trousers, a black tie, and a bowler hat. He carries a little paper parcel. So this is the typical Victorian time gentleman.
Great accent.
Why?
Sound was very good.
Sound was very dirty.
It was very good.
Very good.
Right.
Yeah, that's the sound it was. That is a tearing sound, basically, or destroying your book. So Henry knew that these people, so that they have not come yet. To ease them. You can see they haven't, can't you? Now, Victoria, be upstairs and that quick. and put your white frock on her with a black sash. So, ribbon?
Not like that.
Sash, yes. When you're head boy or head girl, they put the sash on you that way.
At birthday time also.
Correct, or the birthday time also, but this is not talking about this kind of a sash. It is the kind of the sash which you tie around your waist.
WWE title.
Ah, thank you. But it is a cloth, not the leather one. Okay, got it? So this one he says, like she goes, she said you wear a white frock. See, black and white are mourning colors, correct? So if you wear a white frock with a black sash to show that you're mourning. In like anybody who passed away, immediately you change to white or black. You see that. That is normally the mourning colors what we talk about. Victoria goes out. So she's snapping at her husband. The way she's speaking up at her husband, also look at the way she's snapping. She's being very sharp with the husband. Miss Slater, I'm not satisfied, but it is the best we can do till our new blacks ready. So, new blacks ready is basically the morning dress. So she's ordered for a new morning dress. People normally wear what is there in their house. She's ordered a morning dress. And then Elizabeth will never have thought about morning yet. So we'll outshine them there. Your grandfather rather is dead upstairs, and you want to outshine your sister by wearing a brand new dress on somebody's death. Correct. So you have this kind of
Attitude.
which attitude? Selfish. Other than that word selfish, which I gave you, will you please move ahead from that? Other than that word,
Trying to put them down.
mannerless. Very good. What else?
Trying to put them down.
Yes. What else?
Oh, I didn't hear it.
And her. What else?
Then
Done. Very good. We done with this. So basically, they are very heartless. They are they are more about themselves rather than. I think we have, except for selfish, I can put selfish in various ways. Okay. Henry sits in the armchair by the fire. Get your boots off, Henry. Elizabeth, with that prime, she notices the least speck of dirt. So you find that she doesn't want her sister to find any fault in anything. She wants, because she finds that she's nitpicking. You know what is nitpicking? Every little thing she will complain about or she will talk about. So she says, I don't want even a speck of dust to be seen, because she will come and see that and she will comment on it. That is what is called nitpicking. I'm wondering if they'll come at all. When you and Elizabeth quarreled, she said she would never set a foot in your house again. So they had a quarrel. You come to know that they were basically had a fight. Quarrel is your fight. And she said, like, we'll never put a foot again in this house. But her sister, now as I said, we come to know very, very how people react in this one. She says she'll come fast enough after her share of what grandfather's left. So she'll come very quickly because she will want the share of what grandfather has left for us. Okay? You know how hard she can be when she likes. So basically, hard doesn't mean hard. It's talking about how she can be dogged about that particular share of property, or share of things. She will fight hard for that particular property, like that. Where she gets it from, I can't tell. Now, again, this is an ironic. It is where she gets it from, I can't tell. Her sister also is like that, greedy. And she said, I don't know where she gets it from. Mrs. Slater unwraps a parcel Henry has bought. It contains an apple pie which she puts on the dish on the table. So he brought an apple pie and came and she keeps it on the table. I suppose it's in the family. So Henry said, yeah, I suppose it runs in the family. What do you mean by that, Henry Slater? So that it must be running in your family, definitely, where she gets it, right? The greediness, that that disrespectfulness, that kind of selfishness, as we said. So from where she gets, yeah, it must be running in your family. If the husband is commenting, and then she's getting very offended. How dare you say that? Like that. What do you mean by that? So she's very offended that way. I am referring to your father, not to you. He said, no, I'm referring to your father. Means your father was also like that. So, where are my slippers? Now, here she's commented that your sister will my sister will come as fast because she wants a part of the property, correct? Now, look at this. In the kitchen, you want a new pair. So, he's asking, where is my slippers? In the kitchen, but you want a new pair. Those old ones are nearly worn out. So, it's that is old and tattered and all that. Nearly breaking down. You don't seem to realize what it's costing me to bear up like I'm doing. Tolerate. Bear up is basically tolerate, and we don't understand what I'm going through right now. My grandfather has passed away, and like that. My heart's fit to break. So I'm feeling that my grandfather is dead, and I'm feeling the loss for the grandfather. When I see the little trifles that belong to grandfather lying around, and think he will not use them again.
Wasn't he the father?
Oh,
The one who was dead is the father.
grandfather.
Like given father and Mrs. Slater and Mrs. Troy in the character arc. She is the father.
Okay. Father of Mrs. Yeah, the grandfather of Veronica. Who's that? Veronica, na?
Veronica.
Okay. Correct.
Victoria.
Victoria. Yeah. So now she's saying that trifles. Trifles are little things. Little things, what you're talking about. That belong to grandpa lying around, and he will never use them again. Yeah, you better wear these slippers of grandfather's now. It's lucky he got a new pair. This person has just passed away. And said your slippers are worn out, so you wear grandfather's slippers. I'm feeling very hard. My grandfather, my father has passed away. But that slipper is not going to be any use to me. Why don't you wear? He's just passed away. What does it tell you?
So in reality, she's a old person.
Cruel person, very absolutely greedy like her sister. So yeah, there are two characters, the same. She's saying her sister will run. But what is she doing? Same thing, but she can't see what she is doing herself. Remember, you're blind to your own faults. Like that. And she said, yo, you better wear these slippers of grandfather now. It's lucky he got a new pair.
You don't have to go and get them.
Yes. But Henry says, they are very small for me, my dear. They will stretch, won't they? I'm not going to have them wasted. That money he spent, why will I waste that my father's money, which is he spent on the new slippers? You will use it. So what are the characteristics?
She is thrifty.
You love repeating my own words to myself. Wow. What a lovely student you are. Alright. Henry, I've been thinking about the bureau of grandfathers that's in his bedroom. I always wanted to have it after he died. We come to this later, but this is related to the previous. Okay?
See you next time.
Yeah, so happily you can go.